Hello and welcome to the tutorial in Statistics and Excel. And what I'm going to be doing in this tutorial is I'm going to be calculating a statistic called a correlation. Now, understanding what correlations are is as important as understanding what correlations are not. So first off, if you have two sets of numbers, two distributions, and in this example, I'm going to be using the temperature on a day in Celsius and ice cream sales. You have two sets of data. So for each day, you have a temperature, and for each day, you have a corresponding sales. You want to find out if you're the owner of that particular ice cream place, or if you're just curious about the relationship between temperature and ice cream, you might want to know, well, how do those relate to each other? So when the temperature is high, a question we might have is, are sales high? Or if temperatures are high, do sales go down? Now those two types of relationship, when one number is associated with another number, another set of numbers, that they go up and down together, that is a positive correlation. If they move in opposite directions, so as one goes up, the other one goes down, that's a negative correlation. This calculation produces a number between -1 and +1. A -1 correlation being a perfect 100%, this kind of correlation. As one goes up, the other one goes down. On the other side, we have a positive correlation, meaning they move together. Now, what correlations are not is they're not a demonstration of cause-effect. They simply mean that these things are happening and they're related to each other in a way. We have to go further. Now, it might be logical. You could probably think on hotter days, and I'd probably imagine myself on hotter days you would sell more ice cream. And the heat may have a direct effect on individuals wanting ice cream. There might actually be a cause-effect sort of relationship there. But we have to hold back our judgment until we do further testing, something that I may describe later in this series. But how do we test to determine whether or not there truly is a cause-effect relationship? For now, all I really want to know is that relationship. Is it a positive correlation, a negative correlation, neither one, and how strong are those correlations? So we're going to look at the data right here. We have one column of data is the temperature of each one of these 12 days, and then we have the sales on each one of those days. To understand the relationship between the two of these, we're going to compute what's called a Pearson-R correlation. And we're going to use the tool pack. I go to Data Analysis. And this time I'm going to look for, see, correlation right there. I've already selected it. So I select correlation. I say OK. Now what I want is I want to select this whole thing. I'm going to select all of it, including the titles, temperature and sales, select both columns. So the input range includes all of those columns. I want labels in the first row because I've included temperature and sales. It makes it way easier to read the output. And then I'm having it go to a new worksheet. It's going to create a new tab down in the bottom. So I select OK. And there we have it. What I've created is a table that identifies the relationship between temperature and sales. Now, the relationship between temperature and temperature is a perfect correlation. As one goes up, the other one goes up. Of course, it's the same data, the same with sales. So this matrix kind of goes overboard here. It provides every single one of the relationships that could exist between these two. Right here, we have the correlation, 0.95. This is an incredibly high positive correlation, indicating that indeed sales and temperature vary together. So you use the tool, use the tool pack, select correlations, select all the data, and it provides you with this number. It is always a decimal. Using the tool pack, actually, it will keep you from making a mistake. There's other ways to do this, but if you've done it wrong, therefore, you'll get an error code, but the data will not let you, if you select something wrong, if you're missing a piece of data in one of those, has to be the same, pretty much the same number. You have to have 2 scores for every single data point. If one of those is missing, it's gonna give you an error code. But what you're getting is a number that describes the relationship between, in this case, temperature and ice cream sales. And they very much go up and down. So our hypothesis that there is a strong positive correlation between temperature and ice cream is supported. So, and that's how you do a correlation using the tool pack. I will see you at the next tutorial.